So today we're going to be talking about the 10 most annoying things that other drivers do. So the first one is excessive braking. And I think that it's most annoying, especially when it's raining, because they want to slam on the brakes, and of course you're not going to hydroplane or anything like that, so while it's raining is always the best time to slam on the brakes.
One of the most annoying things that can happen while you're driving on the road is two cars will choose to go about 63 in two lanes in front of you and create this roadblock, but they are both too proud to get over and let you pass. So you end up, you're driving behind them, you're changing lanes 4 or 5 times trying to figure out where the stupid car's gonna go. And then they're just sitting there around, and they're like, oh, look at this guy trying to keep up with me. Both saying the same thing. People.
The third most annoying thing is when people don't use their signal, especially when they're making a turn right in front of you, and you don't know if you should pass them or not because you don't know if they're turning.
Number 4 is when there's about 3 or 4 lanes, and you're coming up to a light, and you're going to turn right, and the lane is open, but then there's that one car who's going straight who gets over into the right lane and blocks you from turning. So you're coming up, and you're like having to sit there at this red light when you want to turn, and they don't leave enough room on the side of them for them to turn. Really grinds my gears.
Number 5 is when you're coming up to a red light and there's always that one person that stops like 35 feet before the white line. It's like they're so afraid to be in the intersection that they don't even want to be near. Well, 3 of my cars can fit in front of this person.
Number 6 is that person who's just overly cautious. We all have a grandma or someone like this who, when they're coming up to a green light that's been green for a while, and you're sitting there thinking, oh, you're going to make this. They're sitting there thinking, this is probably going to turn red soon. So they start slowing down for the green light right up into the line until they're sure they're going to make it through. That's my favorite color. I want to experience red. And so they stop for a red light anyway when they could have kept going the same speed, going the speed limit and made it.
Number 7 is those people who will see a cop who's pulled somebody over and is giving them a ticket, and they decide that they need to go 10 miles under the speed limit. Yeah, because he's going to leave that one guy for you. Nah. Better go 55.
Number 8 is when there's this enormous amount of traffic, and you drive up to see that all that it's for is some guy on the road is changing his tire. I believe this is called rubbernecking, or it's called the Lookie-Lou traffic. It's when people are like, oh, check that out! And they're all slowing down to like, you know what? That guy is really having some hard times, instead of just blazing past him like a normal person.
Then there's always those people that never follow the traffic rules at a stop sign. You come up and they're there before you, and they're like,
oh, it's okay, you go.
And I'm like, this is not how it's supposed to go. You're not being polite, you're being stupid. But then I have to go anyway because they won't go.
Number 10, and if you don't hate this, you should. This one is cyclists who ride their bikes as if they are cars. You're trying to get up and pass them on the road, and they're going, and they're driving there in the middle of the road, and they think that they're a car. Well, let me tell you something. You're not 5,000 pounds of steel and explosive fuel going 60 miles an hour. You're half a pound of bike, 150 pounds of man going 20 miles an hour downhill. I can run you over, so get out of the way.